Today I've been checking out Relic Space. It's currently $14.99 on Steam. I'm keeping this more as an impressions video. I'm pretty stacked game wise at the moment and I've not been able to dedicate a huge amount of time to it. This is a single player, turn-based, roguelike, open world space RPG, but it's not like turn-based as in you do all your moves and then press next turn and then the enemy do the moves. It's kind of in that like real-time turn-based type scenario. Even though it's set in space, the gameplay really does feel like a classic turn-based type board game. However, you're in an open galaxy, there's many sectors and procedurally generated missions, which usually consist of fetch, kill, trade type missions, and a story running through it as well. You're like in the midst of the war between these three main factions. There's a bunch of political tensions going on with minor factions too, so there's always something going on. You zip around the galaxy, the movement and combat mechanics are fun, and you really have to like watch your maneuvers, your energy, and there's heat management mechanics in there as well. You can like overheat your ship or run out of fuel. If you fire too much, you'll get more heat. And then you got to look at shield and hull damage. There's also like special abilities on the ships as well. Your character also has a skill tree, the ship upgrades, which include different hulls, several systems, and loads of weapons. The story is interesting from what I've seen so far, and there's lots of information and lore to find. So how the combat and movement works is when you're not fighting, you can just click somewhere and you'll kind of go on autopilot to that location. Inside each like procedurally generated sector, there's like enemies or space stations to find. You can go to space stations and trade. You can get new weapons. You can equip your ship. There's enemies out there to kill, which will start battles with you. Once you're in combat, you kind of have this, that's when it goes a bit more turn-based, I guess. You've got your tactics where if you just stop, nothing will move. And then you can choose where you're going to go next, what hex you're going to go into, if you're going to fire, if you're not going to fire, if you're going to turn around, if you're going to stand your ground, if you're going to use your special weapons and stuff like that. Graphics, I would say, on the whole, are okay. Ship designs are pretty cool. Yeah, and with it being an indie game, there's not a huge amount standing out graphically wise. Sound wise, there was no voices or anything like that apart from at the beginning, but the music in the game was alright. So this isn't a bad game at all, I didn't think. Unfortunately, there's just quite a number of top-down space exploration games. In this one, I just didn't find enough fun in it or anything to set itself apart from it. It got a little bit too grindy. The tutorial didn't explain things very well and also left you a little bit, I thought, too soon. The UI also takes a bit of time to get used to. I found the tracking of missions and where to go a little bit confusing. I don't know if I had a bug or something, but it was like, go here to do this, and there was nothing there in that sector. But yeah, I couldn't complete the mission because it was telling me to go there, which led to a little bit of frustration. I had that twice through two different missions. But unfortunately, just when you compare it to Starcom, Star Sector, which is the daddy, the excellent 3030 Death War Redux, Battle Void Harbinger, for example, they're all cheaper and brilliant top-down space exploration games. There's a lot of competition out there, and I just don't think this one stood out enough for me. But it's also got that turn-based style, which if you love your turn-based tactical combat, this might appeal to you more than it did for me. Anyway, guys, that's all I have to say on the matter. Catch us all later. Goodbye.